mind if I want to. I win every time if I want to. The world mine if I want to. Make the world mine cause I want to. Even on the days when I'm late as ever, my timing is right. Even in the darkest moments, stay close, I'm that shining the light. I can make an earthquake nervous, I can make the sun wear a visor. I can make a wise owl see me as a daily advisor. I'm that cool shade, peaceful night, and still my breath is a storm, I bet. I can make the thunder clap when I perform. It's just that in the laws of nature, I'm breaking the rules. Only thing I'm bad at is being a loser. Hey, I can make time traveling a surprise. Make graveyards feel alive. Break the immortal down to his demise. I make the moon blue. I'm making pigs fly. Now I move mountains. I would have beaten all.
It was once just an idea until breaking ground in November of 2016, and now here it is in all its glory. Spectacular SoFi Stadium here in metropolitan Los Angeles. Today, it's a Week 14 matchup that should be a good one between the Miami Dolphins and the Los Angeles Chargers. 3/4 of the NFL season are complete. What lurks in our final month? We're underway in Week 14. And that one will bounce out of the back of the end zone, so we will start here at the 25. They'll start this drive out on the ground. And not much to speak of. Call it a 1-yard gain up to the 26. This defense for the Dolphins, they were excellent in that win over the 49ers last week.
And one of the key things you always look for when you're evaluating a defense is how opportunistic are they? How many takeaways do they get per game? And how about last week's game? That number? 6. Absolutely phenomenal performance. They were on top of their game right from the first snap.
Play action this time for Justin Herbert. Completes it to Austin. And he takes us beyond the 35 before going out of bounds. A gain there of 12 yards and a first down L.A.
But one of the ways the quarterbacks keep all the receivers alive in a play, never lock in on any one guy. Make sure you keep your eyes moving, scan the field. And here he finds the open guy for a nice pickup.
And this will be stopped at the 44. That one good for 7 yards. The Chargers at 9-3 here on the year. And they coming on a pretty good roll here. Winners of 3 straight.
And I thought that they played pretty well last week. Their execution, their discipline, their resilience, all on display in that victory.
So they'll come up after the gain of 7 on a 2nd and 3. And they'll give him another shot here on the ground. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. A 10-yard pickup, and it's enough for a Charger first down.
They did tell us they wanted to establish the ground game early, didn't they?
They did, and a small sample size that we've seen so far, but pretty good return.
Yeah, you got to like that. They've strung together a couple of first downs, established what they wanted, the running game. And guess what? They also got their lead guy running it pretty well, too.
On first down, Justin Herbert throwing for his running back, and he's got him complete. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work this to the 45.
As a defense, you're more balanced when you're in zone coverage because you're able to keep your eyes on the quarterback and see the play develop in front of you. They're able to keep the quick pass in front of them and stop it right at the line of scrimmage.
Here's 2nd and 9. From the gun, they'll try to run it. Puts it on the carpet, it's out. And this is picked up by the Dolphins. And they take possession of the football and have it at the 36-yard line. Anything to make of this or just a bad stretch? Because he had the 2 fumbles he lost last week and now a third.
It's a bad stretch, but it's one that he has to make sure he overcomes. This isn't on anyone else but him. Taking care of the ball, tucking it away, keeping it high and tight. All the while doing that and not slowing down his running and his ability to move the ball forward.
So a nightmare start to the drive as they're already staring at 2nd and long. Bridgewater. Oh, this is intercepted, intended for Hill. And he'll get this back to the 32-yard line. Unfortunately for him, if last week was any indication, we knew a pick was coming at some point. Last week it was interception after interception, and here we go again.
We actually quit counting last week at a certain point because I thought I was going to run out of fingers, right? Because I'm not all that skilled as a mathematician. But you're right. It felt like a matter of time, and you got to think the guys on defense, they couldn't wait for this opportunity after what they saw on tape.
After the turnover, here's Herbert. Flush to his right. Into a double team, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Melvin Ingram. And the Dolphins will have the football as this is taken up past the 30. And, Charles, that's now 4 interceptions over his last 3 halves of football because, remember, he threw 3 picks last week.
Starting to wonder if maybe defenses and those coordinators have identified something on tape with what he's doing. Maybe a movement, maybe the way he's moving his shoulders. Who knows what it could be? He could have a few tells out there that they're keying in on and allowing defenses to get to the football a little bit faster. People steal signals. Maybe sometimes they can figure out what the quarterback's doing just by his movements.
Yes, sir. How about an attaboy there on first down? Got his hand in and knocked it away.
Line of scrimmage, the 31 as they line up 2nd and 10. Bridgewater to throw it. Oh, this is intercepted, intended for Hill. And a huge return as he'll take this one all the way down inside the 30-yard line.
Well, it doesn't take a whole lot of investigation to figure out why they're still sitting at 0 on the scoreboard because their quarterback's got to wake up and start reading defense a heck of a lot better after throwing his 2nd interception.
On 1st and 10 is Spiller. And some determined running there as he'll pick his way down to the 12-yard line. 16 yards is the pickup there and a 1st down for L.A. That O-line, they cleared a big hole there on that run.
The athleticism of offensive lines continues to evolve, and we're seeing it here. Not only are they controlling things right at the line of scrimmage, but they're able to get upfield to get to what we call the 2nd and the 3rd levels. You know, get to the linebacker spot, the secondary spot, getting all the way downfield with their blocking, which helps keep the running back clean.
They'll try to continue that trend here this afternoon. It's a good gain of 11. Sets him up 1st and goal.
Usually we see runs like this as the defense breaks down later in the game, but this guy is setting the tone early, running through all types of tackles and put the defense back on its heels.
Here we go now on 1st and goal. Oh, how about this call down near the goal line? And he'll actually lose a little bit of yardage here. Back to the 2. Play 3 of the drive not as successful. They go backwards after those 2 1st down gains.
I like the idea to mix it up from time to time because, let's face it, you can't be predictable. But the execution was a little lacking on this one, right? They might want to go back to the drawing board with that call.
Herbert, quick pass out wide. And he'll go backwards, losing yardage to the 5. It'll be a loss of 2, maybe 3 on the play, and that will lead to a 3rd and goal.
They completed the screen on the perimeter, but boy, that was textbook defense. Exactly as you're taught to play against a wide receiver screen, and they snuffed it out for a loss of yardage.
Now Herbert, 3rd and goal. Steps away to his left. And he'll just throw this one over the way of the security crew. Incomplete here.
Oh, that's going to hurt a bit because they needed to come through with a completion there. Now a drive that started with great field position is facing 4th down.
And his kick is indeed good. And the Chargers grab themselves a 3-0 lead. So they get the turnover in plus territory. The drive stalls out, but still able to get 3 out of that.
Yeah, we were able to see an offense and a defense kind of mix and match with each other, didn't we? Both of them trying to make sure that they have the upper hand and the advantage. Offense trying to get to the end zone. Defense, of course, trying to hold them to a field goal attempt. And it wasn't a guaranteed lock 3 from where they started. So, the offense has to be happy to come away with those 3 points.
The Dolphins at the line ready for their next drive. And it's been a miserable start for them offensively, obviously. 2 drives, 2 interceptions.
And this is where you have to know your quarterback and know how you actually have to reach him. Do you do it with a little bit of humor? Maybe you break the ice a little bit like, hey, didn't we practice in that colored jersey all week? Not the one that you're throwing it to? Or maybe you have to be stern with him. But whatever it's going to take to get the message, it has to be done. He's putting the game in jeopardy.
Bridgewater's throw is taken in by Waddle. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. 18 big yards on that one, and a Miami first. They go play action. Bridgewater. And going deep for Hill. Oh, Bridgewater intercepted for the 3rd time. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. Well, I'm not sure that the wheels, Charles, are coming completely off, but they're shaking a little bit. That's 3 interceptions, and now interceptions here on back-to-back drives.
And I think about what a Hall of Fame coach told me that he always told his teams, when a mistake happens, just move on to the next play. Let it go. Hard to do when you're throwing this many interceptions. That's exactly the attitude that has to be adopted.
It's a 6-yard pickup, and it gets him to 2nd and 4.
A quick burst there, and he nicely bit off a pretty decent gain.
6 yards on that last play. Here's 2nd and 4. Right back to Spiller on 2nd down. And tackled down after a gain of 3. Leaves him with 1 yard to go on 3rd down. That's some good tackling there to keep him short of that yellow line.
Yeah, defensively, all I'm thinking is that on that play, get me to 3rd down. Get me into a position where I can make one more play and get my defense off the field.
Herbert wants to throw it on 3rd and 1. He gets this out to Spiller. And he is going to have the Chargers first down as they're able to convert by plenty there on 3rd and 1. We've seen quite a bit of the short passing game here early on first quarter, haven't we?
We have, and I think it works a couple of ways for this team because, number one, you throw the short game until they stop it. And if they're not going to stop it, you keep throwing it, and occasionally you'll break a tackle and turn it into a bigger gain. Also, if they start to creep up, start to pressure receivers, now you go over the top, take it deep, and now you get some of those big shots downfield.
Behind the chain, 2nd and 12. Now it's Herbert. And this will be well too low for him to bring in. It's incomplete. Jalen Guyton, the intended receiver. And that'll make it 3rd down. Not sure what happened out there, but it looked like the timing was a little off on that throw.
Well, you know I'm a defender, so what am I going to say?
Great defense.
I'm darn right. They did something to disrupt that timing.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. Herbert. And he'll be hit as he releases it, and that'll fall incomplete.
Like what I see so far out of this defense because they've been showing their best coverages on 3rd down. So far, only allowed 1 conversion on a handful of attempts. One area of their game plan that they've executed to perfection.
On is the punter Scott here as he gets this one away. Watch out for Hill on the return. Caught out a punt of 38 yards officially. And the Dolphins will begin this drive in great field position, 1st and 10. They go back to the air here after the INT on the last drive. This will be caught. It's Waddle. He'll get this one down near the 20-yard line, just shy of the 20. A good pickup there, 21 yards. First down, Bridgewater. He'll swing this out to Mostert. He is taken down at the 21 after a short gain of 2.
All defenses worry that whenever anyone catches the ball and has a head of steam come out of the backfield, it could turn into a big play with missed tackles or he runs through people. But they were right there waiting, and they stopped him for a minimal gain.
On second down, Mostert. And they're knocking on the door now as a good run there. Going to take this to about the 10-yard line. It's a first down on a gain of 10.
Exactly what they needed right there, because they needed to use the ground game to take some pressure off, because the quarterback's been struggling a little bit.
This offense finding its legs now. Here's another first and 10. Now the first carry for Chase Edmonds. And he will maneuver his way down to about the 7. 3 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be second down.
Some of the most unselfish players on any football team, defensive tackles, because we ask them to just eat up blocks, allow other people to make tackles. But when he can make a play himself, as we just saw there, that's a big day.
Now a second down throw for the end zone, but it's incomplete.
I'm going to need some help with this one. How did he miss him? Wide open in the end zone. He's not hurried. He's not hit. And somehow, incomplete?
Yeah.
What happened?
During film study, that's one where he's just going to shake his head and not be able to believe it.
6 points go by the wayside on that one.
And it'll be intercepted. Picked off by J.C. Jackson. And the Chargers are going to take possession here. It's a touchback, and they'll take over at the 20-yard line. Charles, one thing that he referenced to us yesterday was his confidence fitting the ball into any window, but obviously that window was a little too tight, and it was closing in a hurry.
And he was talking to us about having anticipation in making those types of throws. Down near the goal line, I don't think you can anticipate it as much as you need to see it open. You've got to be precise with your throws down here in the red zone. That one goes into double coverage, and he gets picked off.
First play of the drive goes the wrong way. Here's second and 12. Herbert now. The Dolphins get there this time, and they bring him down. Buried behind the line by Christian Wilkins. Well, it was second long. Now it's third and even longer. They're going in the wrong direction here.
Because they're moving exactly the way they want to, but you're exactly right. Definitely going in the wrong direction for the offensive guys.
Now on third and long, they'll look to throw. He's airing it out for Williams. It's caught inside the 25. Touchdown, LA! In today's NFL, we talk about quarterbacks and their speed and accuracy, but there's still something about a guy slinging one downfield. Point after, right down the middle. And the lead grows to 10-0. The kick unit on here for the Chargers as they will send this one away. A fairly short kick from the 14. And they're going to start this drive in pretty good shape as they get it up past the 30. The Dolphins at the line ready for their next drive. As the offense comes out here, Charles, remember they threw the interception last time out, but they were moving the football down the field. Looked like they were going to have a sustained drive that ended in points, but then the pick ensued.
And because of that, there's no way you can call the last drive a success. Yes, there are things to build on because they found some play calls that work. Now, they've got to build another drive and find a way to avoid the turnover that plagued it on the last one.
On first and 10, it's Mostert. Tackle made there by the safety, Derwin James.
That's a really nice, tough run inside, and they gained 5 yards on it. And to be frank about it, most offenses don't expect to get 5 yards on a play call like that. So when they do, They go back to their huddle with a little pep in their steps. They're starting to think that they're starting to dominate the line of scrimmage.
Off the play fake, Bridgewater. And my goodness, another interception. And the Chargers will have the football as this is taken up past the 30. That is now 5 interceptions that he has thrown in this ball game. If I asked you to speculate what's possibly going on in his head, what would you say?
Well, if he's as mentally strong as I believe he is, he understands that not all of these picks have been his fault. You know, some of the throws, yes, but there have been a good number of them where he hasn't been helped by his own receivers, and they've turned into interceptions. So he knows if he keeps firing, perhaps good things can happen, not just in this game, but especially in later ones.
And now this is intercepted. My goodness. Picked up by Xavier Howard. If you combine last week and this week, he's got a hat trick going because he had 2 interceptions a week ago.
He's seeing the ball so well and understanding where receivers are and positioning. I mean, just watching him work with such great technique and paying it off by actually catching the ball when he has a chance, he's helping his team in a huge way.
So the completion good for 7 there, and it'll be 2nd down. I respect both sides on that play, CD. For him to be able to hold on to that football and the impressive tackle, wow.
Did you notice the look between the two of them as they came off the ground? That look did say the word respect.
Bridgewater's throw here taken in by Gesicki. And he's going to have a first down on a gain of about 10, and that'll take us to the 2-minute warning. Bridgewater. Over the middle and complete to Waddle. And they'll get him down after a pickup of 8. 2nd and 2. Ahead of the chains now, 2nd and 2. Bridgewater again. And now here's another interception. This defense had 3 interceptions last week. They're on pace for more than that here. 2 in the first half.
Do not adjust your set. This is not instant replay. This is a defense that is locked in. They're essentially running the routes for the receivers and turning into the receivers themselves, aren't they? I mean, it is amazing what I'm seeing because the reactions of those guys back on the back 7, phenomenal.
And he's going to be met at about the 43. Just a yard on the first down carry, so it's 2nd and 9.
Some teams like to start aggressive to begin a drive, but this is still what you expect to see in normal situations. Just call a simple run, get a few yards to begin the series, and set yourself up for something bigger on 2nd down.
Right back to Spiller on 2nd down. And good work there in open space. And he's got this all the way down now to the 32. The Chargers going to signal for the first of their timeouts as they get the stoppage with a little over 50 seconds to go in the first half. From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10. Again on the ground, again it's Spiller. And running room scarce here. He's going to be stopped in his tracks at the line of scrimmage. Jalen Phillips, the edge man on the tackle.
As usual, the hallmark of a good run defense, linebackers making plays near the line of scrimmage. Absolutely nowhere to run there.
They'll roll him out right. Under pressure, and down he goes. They sack him back at the 36. Now another timeout called for by the offense as they'll stop it with 25 seconds to go here in half number 1. The Dolphins bring on an extra defensive back on third down. Here's Herbert. The pressure too great, and he goes down once more. Melvin Ingram has now recorded 10 sacks on the season. Now whistles and a timeout with 3 seconds left in the first half. So 3 seconds here remain in the half. On is the field goal unit to see about getting 3 points. And, folks, this is a 67-yard attempt. And I don't think this has the carry. It does not. It's no good. So that would have been something from that distance, but to no avail. Comes up empty as we have reached the intermission. As we send you to Orlando to check in with Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach? Welcome back. Halftime over. We are ready for quarter number 3 alongside Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gordon. The Dolphins down on the scoreboard, but they'll have it first as we get going in this third quarter. The Dolphins at the line ready for their next drive. This offense, Charles, had a strong first half throwing the football, at least in terms of yardage, but that hasn't translated so far on the scoreboard as they begin the third quarter here, trailing and looking for a little momentum.
Yeah, you're right about that because, let's face it, in the first half, most of their focus was in the passing game. And to their credit, resulted in a healthy amount of yardage. So I would think that at halftime, they're going to anticipate that defense loosening up a little bit to try and cover the passing lanes. They've got to get the running game going, and there should be some gaps to run through now.
Kenneth Murray, the linebacker, there to make the play defensively. Here's 2nd and 9, just a yard on that last run. Oh, they're going to run a little pop pass here. And he is going to lose yardage here. Well, I think the hope is, with a touch pass like that, maybe you catch the defense off guard, but they were all over that one.
And it is the kind of play that works better against certain defenses, and this clearly was the wrong one to run into. Really nice job getting him down behind the line of scrimmage.
That's caught by the Notre Dame man. It's Durham Smythe. And a nice job there defensively. They get him to the ground short of the first, right around the 42. Here's Thomas Morstead now, as he's on to punt for the first time this afternoon. It'll be a 41-yard punt, give them 5 on the return. And it'll be Charger football here as they take over. The Charger drive about to get going. We have not seen much on offense here from either side these last few drives. We've hit a wall, so to speak.
And have hit it hard, haven't we? Because the defenses right now, they seem to be a step ahead, don't they? Beating them to the point of attack, beating them to the punch. These offensive guys, they're tinkering like crazy. What's it going to take to get back on track?
Yeah, both sides searching for adjustments. After the pickup of 5, here's 2nd and 5. Now Herbert with it, looking to pass. And he's just going to get rid of this thing. To no one here. He throws it away, and now it's 3rd.
We've seen these defenses make enough opportunistic plays to keep this one low scoring. Flying around, making plays on the ball, and we see yet another errant throw as a result.
From the gun, Herbert on 3rd down. He's got it. It's Spiller. And he is going to have the Chargers first down as they're able to get the third down conversion.
And now we get into the psychology of the whole thing, because a lot of teams with a 2-score lead in the third quarter, they almost become defensive with their offense, just playing not to lose. I think with this team, you got to figure at this point, this is a great spot for them to go into attack mode, really try and put the hammer down and finish this one off.
56 yards on the ground for him so far.
Now, Brandon, that's the way you want to run the football. There should almost be quote bubbles above the offense right now. Bam, boom, biff. That's how they feel good about moving the football.
The quick throw knocked away. It's incomplete.
Receiver coaches preach to their guys all the time. Separation, that's what's going to make the play successful. That time there was very little, and I think they were actually fortunate that it was only knocked away and not intercepted.
Back to throw here, Herbert. Man open left side, it's Williams. And he is going to have the Chargers first down as he'll be marked down a yard or two past the marker following a gain of 6. 2 first downs have him up near midfield now on 1st and 10. They go back to the ground with Spiller. And he stopped immediately there. Call it no gain on the play, and it'll be 2nd down. This defense could use a few more plays like that right now.
It certainly could, but think about it from an offense's perspective right now. They've got a lead, but they don't want to throttle down too much and stall themselves. Still want to move at a nice pace.
Third quarter now from SoFi Stadium. Here's a 2nd and 10. Here's Herbert. Forced out to his left. And he can't find anywhere to go with it. And he goes down. Melvin Ingram able to get in there for his 2nd sack of the afternoon.
This is a little hard for me to compute because I'm watching sack after sack happen, but somehow they're still behind in the game. I would expect all of this defensive pressure to translate to them taking a lead, and thus far, it hasn't happened. Time's winding down. They don't want to waste this type of performance from these ace pass rushers.
And a penalty flag comes in as that one winds up incomplete, but the contact is going to move the ball well downfield. So now then the penalty's got him set up with a 1st and goal. Out of the gun, a give to Spiller. And from the 9, they get this to the 5-yard line.
That's good power football on 1st and goal. A lot of teams will throw from there, but that's a nice job to chew up a few more yards and get yourself closer to the goal line.
So they've been in the red zone 3 times, and it's yielded just 3 points. Can they find the end zone here on 2nd and goal? Again, Spiller. And he's going to get him about 3 yards closer. He's down to about the 2.
Well, he did get a taste the previous week. He got into the end zone, trying his best to get there in this game. So far, he's been denied.
Throwing quickly, and Herbert completes it. A terrific job there to keep him out of the end zone. And now it'll be 4th and goal.
Excellent job there defensively. Gave up the underneath to the tight end on 3rd down, and they made sure that they did their job. Got him on the ground and prevented him picking up a 1st down.
They'll run for it with Spiller. And he is into the end zone. Touchdown, Los Angeles. Isaiah Spiller, his 2nd rushing touchdown on the year. And the Chargers will add on to their lead here in the final minute of the 3rd. Extra point attempt here still to come. He's got it, and it's 17-0. The kick unit on here for the Chargers as they will send this one away. And a fair catch signaled for and taken successfully. The Dolphins at the line ready for their next drive. I kind of feel like they've reached a do-or-die point in this game, Charles. If they're going to try to pull off an impressive comeback, it has to start right here, right now.
Yeah, now they've got a final chance to get out of this situation, but they also understand they've got to move the ball and move it fast. In addition, they need to save as much time so they can get 2 more possessions.
On play action, it's Bridgewater. And that throw behind his man, he missed him, incomplete.
Well, they certainly aren't letting up today, partner, because they've forced big turnovers already, and it's been incredibly tough for them to get yards against, let alone put points up on the board.
Now here's a throw that's complete. And he'll be out of bounds just shy of the 40. The catch and run, good for 18 and a first down. From the gun, Bridgewater. And my goodness, another interception. And the Chargers are going to get the football back as time will run out in this third quarter of play. So it'll be a change of possession on the... we get back. The Charger drive about to get going. And after the interception, they are sitting in an even better spot with the ball and a comfortable fourth quarter lead. This is caught by Williams. And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled. First play of the drive going for 14 and a first down.
Well, how about this aggressive approach? Got the lead, fourth quarter, continuing to throw the football. Are you thinking about Super Bowl 51? Atlanta had the lead against New England, and they ended up giving it up?
I was going to say, don't say it, but you did say it.
I did, didn't I?
Yeah, anybody watching Atlanta, our apologies. Now left side on the swing pass. And they'll get this down to the 42-yard line.
For as many sacks as this defense has, you can understand their willingness to try and get upfield and get another. So what a really smart play call here to use their aggression against them, go with the screen, and they're able to get the first down.
From the shotgun, here's Herbert. It's caught on the right side, Williams. And he's going to be taken down right at the 40-yard line. Second and 8 coming up. Justin Herbert looking to pass. And he slings one that's incomplete.
I certainly thought he had an open look beyond the first down marker to his receiver, but they just couldn't connect, and that will send them back to the drawing board.
The Chargers on third down. They're at 50%, 4 for 8. This is 3rd and 8. Now it's Herbert. And that is incomplete.
Nice back-to-back plays defensively. They're stacking momentum now. 1 incompletion, 2 incompletion. They're going for more.
And And this is good from 57 yards out. That was bombs away right there. And that will extend their lead even further. Well, ultimately not really sure that they're going to need those 3 points, but they'll take the 3 and they pad that lead.
Yeah, this one's already wrapped up, but you and I both know if you're an offensive coordinator, you never let up on the gas unless the head coach tells you to do so. And maybe you've actually clicked him off in your headset so you can keep calling plays and trying to add to this lead.
The Dolphins at the line ready for their next drive. Their mini 2-game win streak appears it might be going by the wayside unless they can pull a rabbit out of their hat. Bridgewater's throw is taken in by Waddle. And he takes this up to the 40-yard line before being corralled. 17 yards is the pickup there for number 17. Well, those are the types of plays they probably wish they had made more of in the first 3 quarters. And this deficit going to be tough to overcome here in the 4th. But a nice first down and a pickup on that throw.
Yeah, and this is where as coaches, you're looking for effort and execution even though the scoreboard is going against you. You want to find out who's going to fight, who's going to scrap, who's going to keep their heads up and continue to play.
Boy, a pair of big plays here. This one going for 29.
Well, I can put my defensive cap on right now, and I know they're saying don't give up any big plays now. They've controlled this game throughout, and all they want to do is see it through to the end. I think they let their guard down a little bit with that last completion. Sometimes when you're trying not to give up bigger plays, you don't...
And this is going to be intercepted. And the Chargers are going to take over at their own 13-yard line. Well, field goals probably aren't going to cut it at this point. This was touchdown or bust, and unfortunately for them, it turned out to be bust.
Yeah, they're feeling like they've got to force the issue here and maybe take some chances they wouldn't have earlier in the game. But give credit to this defense. They've really stood tall throughout, and they come up with the interception in the end zone.
Tackled that time by Jerome Baker out of Ohio State. 3 yards on that last carry. Here's 2nd and 7. Herbert. And that is going to be incomplete as he led him a bit too much.
One thing I have learned, receivers don't mind high throws so much to the sideline, but do that over the middle to them, and not only the DB is going to throw a little verbal trash their way, when they get back to the huddle, they're going to have a few words to say to their QB, aren't they?
Yeah, hung out to dry a little bit there on the high throw. Luckily fell incomplete. And he'll only get this to the 17, well shy of what he needed. They'll get only a yard out of that, and it'll bring up 4th down. Here's J.K. Scott now, standing just outside his own goal line. And this returnable for Hill. A pretty good punt there, but also a nice return of 12 yards. And this offense, they're going to have excellent field position. They take over with a 1st and 10 on the short side of the field. Trying to shake off the interception. He'll look to throw. And going deep for Hill. And that's going to wind up incomplete. However, we do have a flag down. Let's check in with our referee. So now a fresh set of downs. 1st and 10 after roughing the passer. Bridgewater. And now here's another interception. Yes, folks, that is his 3rd interception, and I'm going to use one of the most overused phrases in football. He's a ball-hawking safety.
I love the way that you called for the shot there. That's perfect, though, because there is something to that. Being a safety often allows you freedom to roam around the defense, maybe not a specific assignment. Today, his assignment, find the football, and he's done so quite well.
They'll wind up getting 7 on the play, and that will bring up 2nd down. On 2nd down, Spiller looking for space.
Brandon, I've got to think this offensive line has got some smiles on its faces, and I know it sounds crazy, but they practiced for this back in training camp. They knew they'd be in situations where it'd be extra defenders in the box coming after them, trying to keep them from locking down a game. Right now, they want to show the world they're up to the challenge.
And he gets this one inside the 15, just a yard or 2 shy of the 10. Well, they were in search of a short gain on third down, and they wind up nabbing over 20 yards. Just 2 minutes remaining here in the fourth quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. So it's Charger football as we welcome you back from the 2-minute warning. Now a 1st and 10 at the 11. And no doubt what they're looking to do is just salt away the final couple of minutes and escape with a win. And nowhere to run on the interior of that defensive line. He'll get back only to the line of scrimmage. So fresh out of the 2-minute warning, and here's another timeout taken with 1:55 remaining. Officially nothing on that last run. They'll try again 2nd and 10. He pitches it. That's a big loss of 3, and it brings up 3rd down.
That's what you call stringing the play out. I know he was looking for a spot to get upfield, but they gave him nowhere to cut, nowhere to find a place to make it into the secondary, and they forced him out of bounds behind the line of scrimmage.
He gets this out to Spiller, and he's able to get this down to the 5-yard line before he's out of bounds.
Brandon, it certainly looked like they had that play defended well, but it still almost worked. Got it to the running back. He wound up getting really good yardage out of it, but it was 3rd and long, and they were able to rally and stop him before he could get to the marker.
So the turnover leads to points as they add 3 there.
Yeah, what a sequence there, and a nice win for them. They forced the interception, put together a little drive, and then come away with 3 points. Nothing to it, partner. Just do it.
Hill is going to take it out of the end zone. And tackled at the 21-yard line, so a net negative there of 4 yards. The Dolphins at the line ready for their next drive. It's been a tough go for them. It's still without any points here in the fourth quarter. And a big deficit, Charles, but they moved the football on some drives. They just haven't had any points.
Yeah, and I know in their minds they're thinking the game plan has actually been working. We just haven't scored points. Well, isn't that the bottom line, partner? To put points on the board. So if you're moving it and you're not scoring, is it really working? Right now, they've got nothing left to lose. They might as well go for broke.
Here's Bridgewater. And boy, another ill-advised throw there as that will wind up incomplete.
Even with such a big lead late, the effort hasn't lapsed one bit. If the offense wants to score some points in this one, they're going to have to earn it. These guys are not giving up anything.
Throwing on 2nd and long. Bridgewater, he's going to let it fly. He's got a man, complete. And the tackle going to be made at the 38.
When they've needed a play this year, he's certainly been the guy to deliver it. As this season has gone on, he's been awfully consistent and sometimes spectacular.
The Dolphins going to take their 2nd timeout as they get the stoppage with a little over 50 seconds left to go in the game. So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. Bridgewater now. And boy, another ill-advised throw there as that will wind up incomplete.
And that's another play that's painted the picture of this game overall. It's been a blowout. It's been continually fueled by big turnovers and stops for one side and an inability to advance the ball from the other.
He's brought down at the 34. Call it a gain of 4. One thing I think that's safe to say defensively, the tackling's been really good.
And because of that, it's been very, very hard for them to move the ball because you're not getting the benefits of run after catch. You tackle them almost on the spot. That means you have to run extra plays, harder to move it.
And he's taken down, but not before reaching the 10-yard line. Now the Dolphins will use the last of their timeouts as the clock will stop with 18 seconds remaining. So not quite a 1st and goal. It's 1st and 10 from the 10. And again, it's Bridgewater. Escaping the pressure right. Oh, he dropped it. And that's pretty indicative of the way this one's gone. Well, we've talked about it, CD, but it bears repeating. They are struggling to throw the football. All the interceptions and more incompletions. It just doesn't look like things are in sync out there.
I would agree with that, and it's not...
And it'll be intercepted. And the Chargers are going to take over here on the INT at their own 5-yard line. Charles, are you kidding me? 4 interceptions? I mean, that's a good season for a lot of defensive backs.
A lot of reason to get voted into the Pro Bowl. When you have 4 in one game, I mean, talk about a campaign slogan, right? I got 4. Send me to the Pro Bowl, guys. What a game we've experienced watching this one.